Hey everybody, it's Nick and I wish to welcome you back to the Twisted Arms. For you who are new here, this channel is about the real guidance. It's about the wisdom no one set us down and explained because maybe your parents were just too busy trying to keep things afloat, or maybe nobody ever passed it down to you. Either way, most of us are here because we are left to figure out life as we go. And we are oftentimes feeling lost. Today we will be talking about what a lot of people in the Western world are quietly facing right now. The wage trap. The feeling of working hard, doing everything right and still falling behind. It's very likely that you've got a job, maybe even two. You've got your phone, a car to get around, and you can afford the occasional McDonald's or Taco Bell fade. Or if you're fortunate enough and you save really hard, maybe you can go on a short holiday. But for some reason, it still feels like you're always staying in place, like you're stuck on a perpetual hamster wheel that never slows down. Owning a home? That's probably not even on the table. You might be renting or still living with your parents. And even with all the effort and the endless hours, you just end up stretched thin and exhausted without a true result. Feels like you're burnt out in a way the sleep doesn't fix. And that quiet creeping question of, is this really it? Comes in at the end of each day. That's, my friend, what we call the wage trap. And today we are breaking it down. What it is, how it impacts you, and most importantly, what you can start doing about it. Let's get into it. Emotional exhaustion. Let's start with your day-to-day life. You wake up already dreading the daily routine. You get dressed, you push through the traffic, you sit at a desk or a job site for hours. You likely come home, eat something quick, zone out, sleep, rinse and repeat. At first, you tell yourself it's all temporarily, just a busy week or a month. Then the months turn into years and the heaviness doesn't lift. There is no time to pause and you're left with no energy for creativity, connection, or the parts of life that feel truly yours. And the worst thing is, it isn't just tiredness, it's a slow fading of who you used to be as a person. You used to love life. Now things that you used to enjoy, hobbies, friendships, and dreams, start to feel slowly out of reach. Not just because you don't care, but because there is just no space left to survive and nurture your dreams. Financial pressure. Here's the brutal part. You're working hard. You're working hard not just at your job, but you're also trying to level up, taking courses, learning new skills, educating yourself outside of work. You're probably doing everything that you're told will help you land a more meaningful and better paid job. But somehow, the goalpost keeps moving. Job descriptions call for more experience and skills that feel just out of your reach. Oftentimes, even if you land a new gig, the pay still doesn't reflect the effort you're putting in. Meanwhile, the cost of living keeps climbing. Rent, bills, food, and your wages barely keep pace. So despite all the hustle, in the end, you are stuck in the same place and that dream of financial security and fulfilling work seems further away, not closer. You're caught in a loop, always doing more, yet never quite getting ahead. No real choices. Most people think freedom is about money, but it's actually about time and options. And for a lot of us, that's what actually has been stolen. You start fantasizing about taking a break, downsizing, switching careers, or starting something completely new. But the thought alone is terrifying. Because deep down, you know the reality. You can't stop and you can't risk it. There's a mortgage, kids, debt, expectations. You've built a life that depends on you staying inside the machine. and you can't risk unraveling years of effort. So this constant pressure and no real way out leads to anxiety, stress, and other mental health struggles. So to compensate, you trade your freedom for security. But over time, that security starts to feel like a prison life. You're safe, but you don't feel free. You're living, but you're not feeling that you're alive. Cultural pressure. One of the hardest things is how invisible it is. You look around and it seems like everybody else is coping. They're smiling, posting holidays on social media, buying homes or upgrading cars. So when you feel stuck or exhausted, it starts to feel like it's your own fault. Perhaps you start thinking maybe you are the problem. That's the lie the system and social media serves you, that your struggle is personal, not a systemic issue. That shame is what keeps so many people silent. It's what keeps them in the loop, never asking for help, never questioning the bigger picture. End of your true self, when you stop dreaming. This is the part most people don't talk about enough. It is that your dreams start to die quietly. The goals you used to have, they start to feel laughable. The things you used to love doing, you haven't revisited them in years. The version of yourself who was once excited about the future, that version you can barely remember. And slowly, you stop reaching for anything beyond what's right in front of you. You start hoping, not because you've given up, but because it hurts less to stop wanting something that seems always out of reach. That's how the system wins. Not by breaking you, but by making you numb, by convincing you that this is the way the cookie crumbles. The real problem and how to take back your control. The system you're in wasn't designed to make you feel free or fulfilled. It is built to keep our soul moving, just enough to survive, but never to fully thrive. When you start recognizing the trap you are in, you will stop blaming yourself, because you will start seeing the system for what it is. And you may ask yourself, so practically what can I do? Start small and protect your energy. This step is necessary. You need to say no to work that brutally crushes your soul and health. Sometimes that means scaling back your spending to live within a smaller budget, or just stepping back from opportunities that demand too much of you emotionally or physically. Keep in mind, with this approach, you should never sacrifice the essentials, your nutrition and your physical health. Food fuels your brain and body. Cheap doesn't mean bad, and learning to cook simple, healthy meals can be a game changer. Likewise, moving your body doesn't have to be a fancy gym membership. You can do a daily walk, some stretching, or you can do even some calisthenics that will help your energy and mood more than you realize. Protecting your energies isn't about laziness, it is about survival. And once you start boosting that energy, everything else will become easier. Set boundaries, not just with your work. Setting boundaries isn't just about leaving work at a certain time or abandoning the career that devastates your true being. This also means cutting out negative influence outside of work. Toxic friends who drain you, social media videos that leave you feeling worse, and empty conversations that do not uplift or inspire you. Practice more saying no to things that take from your mental well-being. Surround yourself, in other words, even if slowly, with people and content that encourage and motivate you. Boundaries are about reclaiming control that has been taken away from you. The less mental clutter you carry, the more space you will have to breathe and be reasonably happy. Reconnect with yourself. Find what lights you up. When life is a grind, you forget who you are beyond work and survival. And now it is the time to rediscover your true passion. Don't forget to try things while your body still allows. Maybe it's a long hike in nature, learning some skateboard tricks, practicing a new basketball move, or picking up an old hobby that you loved. Even small moments count. Dancing around the house, drawing, journaling, or simply sitting quietly watching the sunset. These moments remind you that you are more than just your job, your bills, or your to-do list. They reconnect you with the joy and vitality. Those things fuel hope. Quiet time is your secret weapon. Big life changes don't come from noise or rush. They come from clarity, which needs some quiet time. Carve out regular time to think, read, reflect, or just be with your own thoughts. Processing your emotions and life path is critical and often get lost in the chaos. Reading and thinking is about your personal growth or discovering stories that inspire you. Reflection, on the other hand, is how you reconnect with your true desires and values. The compass that can guide you towards better choices and new path forward. To sum it up, in the end, keep in mind this isn't a quick fix. It is a process, a series of small intentional choices that will help you reclaim your freedom bit by bit. And don't forget along the way that you're not alone in this process. Here on Twisted Arms, we're about walking this path together, talking real, practical steps for living better and more meaningful life. If this story resonates with you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on upcoming videos, or drop a comment if you have felt this way. Thanks again for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll see you next time on the Twisted Arms.